My name is Gunnarsson, but you can call me Gus. I'm 24 years old and I live in Berlin as of now during my studies. I'm originally born in Aalborg in Denmark, but I am Icelandic. My parents are Icelandic and my brothers. And yeah, I've been living here in Berlin for the past no, it's closing to 4 years now, almost. And I'm studying at the acting school Cool Florent, and I've been there since 2020. And yeah, it's just been a really nice way to get to know myself better. And as the studies went along, I've gotten to know one of my best friends, and yeah, it's just been an amazing time here in Berlin. Instagram or Facebook, it was either two of those platforms. I didn't really know what it was in the beginning, but this was early 2021, I think, and I hadn't signed up for any platform before this one. And a lot of people had already told me that if I wanted to find jobs, I had to sign up for one of those. So I figured Italenta was something that caught my attention. I was curious and I wanted to see what it had to offer. So I signed up, but I didn't really have any experience, so I couldn't really fill up with any information whatsoever. But as my studies went along and I started to take on small little gigs, I figured, okay, so now I have to put all of this into my profile, and I started taking headshots and putting my photos in, and that's how I kind of got more involved into how these platforms work. And I figured, okay, I have Italenta, maybe there's something more out there, but nothing really drove me as Italenta. I always went back to it because it was very interesting jobs, and I also like how the variety of Italenta, it kind of gives a lot, and it offers jobs kind of all over the world basically, and that's what I'm so I'm always drawn towards it. I'm so it's a great platform, and it's different, it's unique, and yeah, it works in a way that it allows you to kind of explore more, I think. So yeah, so far it's been a great experience to use. I got a notification that they were casting for a Erasmus production. That's a exchange program, and I figured, okay, I can go for it. But since there are probably a lot of Icelandic people going to do it, I always get a little negative when there's an Icelandic option, because it's just like we're fighting to get it. But I was at home and I was working, and I had little time to do the casting. So I sent the submission, and I had to introduce myself in Icelandic and talk about my experience, what I had done so far. And yeah, that was pretty much all I had to do. So I got in touch with the producer the day after, or a couple of days later, and they told me that they wanted me. And yeah, it kind of went by so fast. I was all of a sudden it was November, and I was in Amsterdam, and wow, it was honestly a great opportunity. And working with these people, it was such an honor, and I had so much fun shooting. no longer than 2 weeks, I think. This all happened in such a blur, and it kind of just came in a way that I was not expecting it. And that's always fun when you least expect something like that, and just like you get the email and they want you to come, and you're just like, whoa, okay. But it was so much fun. A good example, I just finished my first short film last October, and that was really my first experience acting in a short film or anything really on that caliber, film related, in Icelandic. I would say that I open up more emotionally. I'm more expressive in a way that I can play the character, because it is my native tongue, and it always feels so close to me and personal when I'm doing something in my mother tongue. Whereas in English, now that I've been in Berlin acting in English for the past 3.5 years, so it really is an automatic switch that I have in English. And whereas it takes time for me to kind of channel back to Icelandic, and I have to prepare myself more than I do usually. And I also think the dynamic between the other actors, I think it's something very, very special, and almost feel a bit frightening. And I feel a bit nervous every time I go on set or on the stage, and it's like this little I don't know how to explain it. It's like some kind of a magic. I feel like something happens, you start to speak in your mother tongue, and everything feels very slow because you really have to kind of focus on the language. But that's just what I experience, and I feel like I'm doing it for the first time all the time. I speak it, and it's then like, oh, okay, so I have to find the flow, I have to get into the rhythm. So it's it's a different experience, I would say. I think everything really changed the way I talk ever since I moved to Berlin. I think I had good control over Danish like 5 years ago, still in high school, because that was like a mandatory. You have to learn Danish from a young age. You kind of take the Danish with you through childhood and up to when you're a teenager. And then slowly you start to learn German, and then, if you want, Spanish. So through my high school education, it was mandatory as well to do German or Spanish, but you could do both. So I have like the basics on that, but not in my, I could not in the slightest save myself in Spanish or German, but I'm very interested in those two languages, and I have these moments when I'm with my friends and I kind of just squabble the German, but it's so much fun to just explore where you're at and kind of make a fool out of yourself with the language and see if it makes sense, and if you want to make it serious as well. But for me, I'm not trying to be serious about these languages. It's more just, yeah, I like it, and I like it when people talk to me in their language. So I'm very interested in both, especially in German, but English and Icelandic, and Danish as well. I would say those are like my 3 languages. I just finished my thesis a couple of weeks ago, and just finished my last exam Monday, or Tuesday. Tuesday. Yeah, that was my last exam. So I'm officially finished with the studies, and now the graduation will happen sometime this year, not sure. But what is next is I'm just finishing up and on my short film, because we want to submit it to one or two festivals. We're not sure. I'm also hoping that I can work my way towards a theater back home in Iceland, but nothing is confirmed or anything. It's just something that I would like to do for future purposes. And I'm already working on some new projects that I'm writing, and I'm hoping that I can start on them later this year. Other than that, just enjoy and spend the best time I can here in Berlin, and see what other opportunities come to the table. Don't think too much. Just execute.